I had a few people asking me to write something about enhancing cognitive and physical performance, something about entrepreneurship, the two fields that I've been, I would say, master and worked on for the last 20 years. But I decided not to write because that's probably not my mean. Probably I don't feel as authentic with this old ChatGPT. I'm here, I'm blockchained Stefano Passarello for real. And what you hear from me, it's gonna be from me, from the bottom of my heart. Yes, I'm an accountant, sure. But I'm also a biohacker, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a runner, I'm a father, I'm a triathlete, I'm a yogi, and I'm friends of cool people. And this is what I've become. Let's start with this word biohacking. In honor of Asprey and all the other biohackers that invented it in Silicon Valley, why? To bring entrepreneurs to the top level of cognitive performance, how to be the best version of yourself, not just an okay version of yourself. How do you feel? Okay, no. How do you feel? I'm awesome. We are used to live at suboptimal conditions. We used to live a suboptimal state. There is almost a sense of guilt to say, I am awesome today. I will explain you why there is this incredible correlation between entrepreneurial world, businessman, business girl, and biohacking. And this is, by the way, why we built this beautiful place that we are sitting in. You do following the 3 circles of Kapuhala, what I like to call the 3 circles of Kapuhala. The first one is nutrition, eating. And you can break the nutrition part, the eating part, in 3 parts. Plant-based. Plant-based, I can tell you, it's not inferior to an animal diet. It creates biodiversity in your gut bacteria. It makes you poop like God and you become God. Number 2, eat intermittently. So allow space between meals. Stay as fasted as possible for as long as possible. These guys of the fasting is the ultimate biohacking. Don't just eat 10 times a day. Eat once. That one time that you eat, you will enjoy fully. In the rest of the day, your body will detoxify. This is not detoxification myth, spiritual karma, and blah, blah, blah. This is called autophagy, scientific. The moment you don't eat, your body starts reorganizing. You're using sugar to feed your brain. I stopped to use sugar for my brain, and I'm using fat. And once you use fat to feed your brain and your body, your burning's lower. It's burning wood versus burning hay. The sugar, rush, burn, boom, and then you need it again. The fat takes a long time to burn. Third pillar is eating mindfully. So if you're just throwing it in, what is the difference of having sushi or seitan or steak, or it's just a small act of dopamine comparable to the orgasm in sex. You don't need to overeat. You just need to eat when you're hungry. Moving is what changed my life and what basically dictated the rhythm of my life. I was a very fat kid. It gave me complex, extreme complex that I still bring inside. I was unwanted, I was unliked. I don't know what it triggered, something. Then I started running, started counting calories, started losing weight, starting like this whole thing. So the day that I went for a run and I came back home, I tasted first the endorphins. This is really what brought my life. And I could feel as a child how this was coming in, as this was coming in. So moving, 3 parts of moving. Burn, running, cycling, swimming, anything that is cardio, anything that it's conversationally good to hold, it's good. This is what we call the Maffetone method in training. It's training for a long time. Space out with it. This is my meditation in the morning. This is a non-negotiable for me. I wake up in the morning and I run, or I cycle, or I do anything that is cardio and it makes me sweat. Once I sweat, boom, I'm good. I'm detoxifying, I'm cleaning it up. But number 2, it's build. So the burn and the build. Because if you burn, and you don't build, you become scrawny like me. But I can tell you, in the small body, there is a lot of building here. So to keep it, after you do these all drills, and you burn in the morning, then you build, and then you bodybuild, and then you lift weights, and then you do high intensity training, you need to fix. And then it comes the yoga, and then it comes the ice bathing, and then it comes the sauna, and then it comes the meditation, and then comes the cold therapy. So it's important, the rest, because you cannot always be high in your sympathetic nervous state that is triggered with the high intensity training, with the cardio. You need to rest and digest. Flight or fight, rest and digest. The yoga brings you there. And then the last part. What is the last part? Living and living habits. So I break it in 3 parts. Live communally. This is a trait of the blue zones where people live the longest. Stay with people. Get people together. We are lonely. And the fact that we are lonely makes us feel insecure. We are digitally focused and socially evaporating. We all had a pretty massive evidence that loneliness is one of the major triggers to all forms of major disease. Living socially exercises a system of control and self-judgment. Because if I'm surrounded by people, I'm less prone to indulge in self-destructive behaviors or vices because I'm subject to control. Try to spend time with people. Try to have dinner with other people. Try to interact. You will release a hormone called oxytocin. And oxytocin is an evolutionary hormone. We raised as hunter-gatherer. We were sitting around a fire. We were feeling protected. Isn't it amazing? Like the sense of protection that you have and you developed, being together protects your health. And be alone kills you. Number 2, circadian rhythm. Follow your circadian rhythm. Wake up as early as you can. Wake up with the sun. Challenge the sun. I challenge the sun and I win almost every day. Because we evolved as human beings following circadian rhythms. If you screw that up, you're screwed. You are not the best version of yourself. Follow the sun. Number 3, sleep. Sleep is one of the most underrated things ever. Sleeping is crucial. Sleeping deprivation has been correlated with a ton of disease, brain alteration, cognitive deficiencies, you name it. Don't feel guilty. Sleep faster. Don't feel guilty. You know, we live in the society of, oh, I'm cool because I sleep less. Sleeping is crucial. So, 3 nice rules for living. You put it all together, it's 9 principles all together. 3 in the eat, 3 in the move, 3 in the live. You know why we're here today? This is the place that we have built with the pure intention of the 3 circles: eating plant-based, moving, living together. The fact that we have a shortcut pill to fix the demons of our soul gives authority to shortcut it. What if there was not access to a psychologist? What if there was no access to sleeping pills, to Xanax, to me relaxant? What if it was not? Have you tried to fix your own stuff going for a run every morning? No, I don't have time for a run in the morning, but you have time for the shrink. You have time to have your Xanax. Hey, did you run today? Eat well. Poop well. Don't binge. Eat slowly. Savor every single sip of your red wine. You will drink less and you will savor it. Move every single bloody day. Stay with cool people. Stay with the nice people. So what I want to do is to help you to create a routine to achieve cognitive and physical performance. I want to help to build something that you can replicate home, and it's practical and it's for you forever. If you come to Kapuhala, I will teach you directly or I will share with you. If you don't, you do it at home as long as you do. So I'll tell you my routine. Wake up. Hopefully I will beat the sun. If I'm not beating the sun, it will be close to it. This is magic. It extends the day. You face the day in a way that you're always on top of things. You're not chasing. Then what I do? Breakfast? No, breakfast does not exist, guys. It's just an invention of the Kellogg's family. No breakfast. You hit the gym. Breakfast is your gym. First workout of the day, cling, cardio. I invite you guys not to do anything too traumatic in the morning because you're still cold, because at night you are cold, okay? Morning is the most vulnerable moment of the day that I experience, and I think it's the same for many others. So getting into, the routine should not be traumatic. Cycling or indoor cycling or some nice running or some swimming, that would be, great. I sweat, I meditate, little stretch, little moves just to pump myself up, hit the shower, guess how's the shower? Dopamine release, and then you start rolling. You go to the office, and at that moment you're dancing, you're happy. You want to have a little breakfast after that? You want to have something like low sugar? Do. If you don't want, in my opinion, it doesn't matter, because if you fast after workouts, it boosts your GH release, your growth hormone release massively. But I understand if you want to keep physical mass, you want to keep the big muscles, go for it, doesn't matter. Then I work, super focused, hyper focused, there is no distraction, and I just go for 1, 2, 3 hours. After that, second workout of the day, the build. So you do 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depends what you have. If you have a gym close to your office, go there, or just go to the park and you change in the changing room, doesn't matter. You come back and you are wake up. You are awake. That is the best moment, in my opinion at least, for your circadian rhythm to push hard. Lunchtime for me, it's gym time. Then, normal people, human beings would eat. I would just have something to drink, a lot of fluids, a lot of liquids, a lot of electrolytes. Back to work, 2-3 hours, intense, absolute intense work. Those 3 hours that I work, 3.5, 4 hours that I work from the office to the end of the office period, I am absolutely super focused. The lack of carbohydrates makes me release ketone bodies from and it fuels my brain in a way that is like, woo, where am I going now? I need to be quiet. And that comes the third workout of the day. Fix. Burn, build, fix. Little yoga. I will do a sauna. I will do breath work. Box breathing. The longest, the best. Breathing is such a powerful thing. We live in a population of shallow breathers. When you breathe, expand, release. You know, meditation and yoga release a thing called GABA, which is like a reaction in your brain that can calm your anxiety state. Meditation and yoga can help your prefrontal cortex to work slower. Your prefrontal cortex is where the rational thinking is, while the amygdala is where the irrational thinking is. And the prefrontal cortex, you numb it with alcohol. You know, you stop thinking rational, you relax. So my last workout of the day, it's stretching, it's hot bathing, it's maybe exercising with the kids, but relaxed, you know? And then after that, say it's around 6:37 or 7:30 when I'm late from work, and then it starts the feast. And I will eat for 4 hours, even 4.5. Go to bed usually at 10:30, and I have absolutely no problems to start eating at 7:30 and ending my food at 10:30, right before bed. Because I'm so in need of that food that my body will absorb it like a sponge so efficiently that I wouldn't feel full at night. This is the concept of OMAD, 1 meal per day. And this is also a beautiful, a very elegant way to fight that compulsion of snacking. Now, not finished yet. You eat, and what you do. Most beautiful thing to do is switch off your phone and do nothing. And this is the hardest thing, also for me. Then I go to the bed. At 5:30, 5:55, I'm already up. Naturally, I tend to leave that window slightly open so the sun can come up and I can wake up naturally. And that's it, the perfect routine. I was high, I got higher, and I went down. The art of entering the flow state. This is the true superhuman power to master anything. What is flow? Flow state is where you lose yourself in a task. I'm just there. It's like the meditation in motion. This is the flow. But it can happen with anything. It can happen with surgeon. My father is a surgeon. He was telling me how during surgery, during moments of extreme concentration, extreme where you cannot absolutely lose your focus, your concentration, you are there, you must be there. Because this is for somebody else's life that you are doing what you're doing. You cannot absolutely miss the spot. You are super focused, hyper focused. You are in a moment that failure, it's not an option. In that very single instant, you reach the flow state. Tasks that focus your attention to a single center that everything else does not exist. This is the art of mastering any craft. And this is one of the most rewarding moments of your life, when you're mastering your craft, when you're absolutely unabstracted from any thought. The art of mastering the flow. You want to know how to enter the flow? Eat less, move more. Anything that can obscure your brain, anything that doesn't bring your brain to the top performance, it will hinder the entrance in the flow. Lack of sleep, excess eating, not enough physical activity. Those are the enemies of the flow state of mind. You can enter the flow with maximum focus, but remember, to achieve maximum focus, you always have the shortcut, guys. Work out, fast, be happy, wake up early, sleep enough. Sleep is a non-negotiable. Another thing, it's purpose. A purpose is something that wakes you up in the morning, okay? So living with a purpose, having an idea, doing something. This gives me purpose. Now for me, success would be sharing knowledge with people, helping people to be the best version of themselves. Now, we are entering the great world of entrepreneurial success. And this is what really contributes to extend my life. If you want to be a serious entrepreneur, if you want to start a business, if you want to be called an entrepreneur, first of all, you need to love to be an entrepreneur. And this is the first thing. I'm not saying that it's the only purpose of life, but it's one of the purposes. So when I speak about purpose-driven entrepreneurship, it gives me purpose to be an entrepreneur. It gives me responsibility to start something, having somebody that trusts me to achieve my dream, my goal that becomes somebody else's goal. This inclusivity thing is forming a team and leading the team to success. Don't give up. And this is rule number one to be successful in business. Do not give up. You need to keep in the game. But I've never seen a business becoming extremely successful if there was not an irrational act underneath. Yes. Being irrational and having reality distortion is the only way to succeed, but is only the worst weapon. Failing is alright, and you should not commit suicide or harakiri the Japanese way. I just emphasize that. But should not be as accepted as it is today. I want to see people with grit. I want to see people that fight for their game. What they are building is something unique, something special. Yeah, whatever it is. It can be a recording studio, it can be a hotel, it can be a garden, like a nursery selling small trees. Whatever you started, get to the end of it, and you will learn to love it, because you cannot always do what you love, but you need to love what you're doing. Anti-fragile is a concept that comes from basically when an adverse event happens, when the black swan happens, rather than succumb, an organization, a person or whatever, it will flourish. So the adverse event will create abundance. Anti-fragility makes you evolve. It makes you not just stronger, I can hold it, I can hold it, I can hold it. No, I will learn from the situation. It's very, very technical. So you know that something is coming, and based on what it comes, I will structure myself so that I can learn from this. So something else happens, I know how to face it and I know how to evolve. Anti-fragility. Explore the concept, it's very interesting. If you start a business, there is one single asset in your company. And this is the thing that you hang at the wall. This is your vision and mission statement. Vision, mission, and values. Before you start anything, you need to write this down. You need to know what you're doing and where you're going. You need to draw your North Star. And your team should buy into it. If you don't know where you're going, how can you lead your team to where you're going? It can slightly be changed during the years because the vision can change, but you need to have one impactful sentence, not just for the aesthetic game, but just to remind yourself, who do you want to be in 50 years? Not in 5, not in 10, not in 15. I know the business game changed, but what would you want to be remembered for? Start with the end. Yeah, this is the most important asset that a visionary entrepreneur can have. This place is a place that will trigger these 3 elements. Eating, as we said, living, as we said, moving, as we said. Everything should be written in the wall. Now, who is your most important client at your organization? The team. You know why? Because when you're trying to sell something, you first need to sell internally. You need to give the values that drives your choice as a client and as a team. Clients bring clients. Word of mouth is the most important thing, right? So if I win a client, this is marketing for me. It's lifetime value and snowball effect. If I hire somebody that is loyal and buys into it, he will do the sales for me. Simplicity is the key. Perfection is achieved when there is nothing else to be removed. That means the essence of minimalism. When you can communicate the most with the least is when a message is perfectly catered. Eat, live, move. So sales and leadership is probably different games. What we are talking about is me as a leader teaching other leaders to be the best version they could be, right? And teach the people under them to be the best version they can be. If somebody makes a mistake, it's the leader's fault. If something happens and my client has bad accounting, it's my fault, man. I raise my hand. This is called extreme ownership. It's a beautiful book of Jocko Willis. That means that if something happens to your troop or sub-troop, it's the leader that takes the hit. It's my fault. Being a salesperson is such an art. Like, you can have it and root it in yourself, or you don't, or you can develop the skill. But the basic skill is understanding what somebody's problem is and somebody's fear is. Fix the problem, fix the fear. In whatever business, you know. You can sell cars or you can sell accounting services. When I talk to a client, I first assess what is his problem. Probably late, everybody has problem with his own accountant. And you emphasize in your offer, how can you fix your problem? I want to talk to my clients, I want to understand my clients, I want to mentor them, I want to cry when they miss a profit target with them. That's it. That's all I want to do. I am driven by their drive. This is purpose. This is being purpose-driven. And I'm teaching and sharing knowledge to my team, not just being accountant, but to be mentors, to be monks, to be the guy on your corner, the monks. I never even thought that I would have been an accountant. I thought I would have become a doctor. I got my first client, inherited it from my previous firm, and I started from there. And I still bless him. The first client that gave me a chance to build something, it was pure survivorship. Then survivorship and getting the first 2 clients to pay my rents consolidated in something more solid. And then ideas started evolving. I was 23 when I started. So my beautiful Passarello and partners that sounded an Italian pizzeria, then when we grew to more clients, became people and projects, still PMP, because I'm interested in people and I'm interested in projects. So this is when I started having a vision. So at the beginning was just pure survivorship. Selling PMP, it didn't even cross my mind for 6-7 years. Again, we were running the company, and at that point we were quite big. But just, you know, to pay salaries, at that point survivorship evolved from paying ourselves and paying salaries. And then I realized that my company was sellable. It was like a process of sudden realization that something that I built with my team, of course, was in fact sellable. I researched and I came to the conclusion that I needed 2 things. 1, real vision, what the company stands for, and creating a culture within the company so that if somebody buys, it's not just buying something there. It's not just buying me, Stefano, creating the content. It's buying an ecosystem. And this is only possible with culture. You're buying the dream and you're buying the skeleton. You're buying the soul and you're buying the body. This is the only way for something to be sellable. Any entrepreneurial journey, what makes something meaningful is the idea, the manifestation, the execution, and then you will get at some point to somewhere, it can be financial success, it can be an exit, it can be just your company keep going. But what you will enjoy the most and what you will remember the most is the journey. Actually getting to the end of the destination, to what you want, it might be detrimental to your happiness. Successful startups need 3 elements. This is to make a company sellable, right? But to make a successful startup, you need 3 things. You need a very good idea. The idea should be awesome, and it should be an audience for your idea. Or you create an audience. There should be a need, but you should have an idea. Second thing is execution. So you see, it comes together. Idea, vision, second, execution. Because you can have a fantastic idea, but if it's executed poorly by the only creative entrepreneur, you need a CEO that busts your balls, man. So you need creativity and you need execution. But that's not enough. You know what is the most important one? Timing. You can be right, you can execute at the perfection, but you need to be right at the right time. Because if you want to be successful, there is only one trick. You either have a very, very, very big piece of luck, can happen, but that's very minimal, or it's not minimal, it's still there, you need to be lucky a little bit. But if I need to bet on the 2, work, 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 determination, work, determination. It might be alienating sometimes, but this is what you choose to do, you know? I think a part of successful people is doing the day after what you wrote the day before, right? If you write, it's there, you gotta do that. And whenever you get lost, you go back to your to-do list, you know? So good now, it's much better than perfect later. Perfectionism, it's just another form of procrastination. Aristotle said, excellence is nothing but a habit. So you need to do things until that moment that it becomes autopilot. Consistency is temporary. Habit is the long-term trick. You can be whatever you want. It's just a matter of how much you want it. If you want it, plan for it. And do every single day something that will bring you there. Do every single day. Don't skip one day. You will lose the rhythm. Law of nature. Do every single day. Self-awareness. This exercise will change your life. Sit down and write what you like to do, what you don't like to do, what you are good at, what you're not good at. Take what you like to and take what you're good to, put that together, do it. Because if you like to be a banker, but you're not good at math, it doesn't go. If you are very good at visual arts, but you don't know how to draw, sorry, it doesn't go. Do not try to be somebody you don't like to be or you are not able to be. Because this is a recipe for success. You will waste your life doing something you don't like or something you are not able or less able to do. So find your strength and leverage on it. Double down. Double down. I'm not saying not to try. I'm saying try, but there is a point that you need to choose what you want to do. You cannot do everything. I'm not saying that you will like everything, but if you start something, make sure that you like and make sure that you're good at, and don't give up. And drill every single day. Put the work. As long as when you start, try not to come back in an entrepreneurial journey. Because as an entrepreneur, you have responsibilities. I already discussed that before. The tent is the icon for nomads, nomadics. You know, the nomads are those that are learning the most because they are being exposed to different cultures, right? You pass from place to other place, you learn, you leave, you learn, you leave, you learn, you leave. And, you know, there is this new trend, they call it digital nomads. But digital nomads, frankly speaking, sounds like the guy building the website from Mauritius or from Kopangan. No, to me it's more. It's the nomadic entrepreneur. It's somebody that can achieve the dream of his life, the hustle, the big dream, being a nomad in a minimalistic, still luxurious environment that is in contact with nature, that is really in contact with nature to the point that you prime in the morning. You are close to the rocks, close to the water, close to the jungle, and you take the best, you bring the best out of yourself. You are optimized for success. This is where Kapuhala and monks meet together, right? You become the best version entrepreneur because you are the highest level of physical and cognitive ability, performance. You achieve the best here. This is where the phoenix becomes strong. This is where the monks meet. I invested madly in my dream of having digital nomadism home to digital nomads, Kapuhala, during the time of COVID, where traveling was pretty much impossible. So my dream of selling the company and still being exposed to an entourage of entrepreneurs that would have come to my resorts to work together, to do hackathons together, to travel them from around the world, do yoga, ice bathing, biohacking, inventing the new revolutionary thing, in my digital nomad land with real tents, disappeared. COVID came. There was only one thing that I know how to do. Running, it doesn't make money, and accounting. That fortunately have a pretty good stickiness rate. But I needed to come up with something cool. But this time, I've done it already. So monks, I want to build a happy tribe of accountants and mentors working remotely or not, working afar but gathering every couple of months in Kapuhala. So everyone in monks has the right to work from our resorts whenever they want. First of all, if you notice, we have a lot of orange going on, like monks. The inventor of accounting was a Toscanian monk in the 14th century, Mr. Luca Pacioli, or Fra Luca Pacioli, which was a monk. Monks are very wise. They invented beer. They are actually very transactional. There is a lot of business going on in monasteries. I mean, yeah, they are self-sufficient. It's actually pretty interesting as a concept. You can think of any kind of monk. Monks are there to serve. We are there to serve entrepreneurs. Monks will throw you in the water and you will learn how to swim with a control action. We want to develop a sense of independence in working and ethical respect for deadline. Remember, if the dream is that everybody can work from everywhere, we need to have very much knowledge of who we represent, we need to be problem solvers, and we need to be tech savvy. Before, the digital nomad was somehow seen as somebody building website from the beach, you know, and you didn't really give much of a value, professional value to those guys, like going in and out. But now it is possible not to compromise work performance with remote locations living, to achieve the best performance you can as a professional, as an entrepreneur, as a human being. Why don't spend some time working in nature? Why don't you spend some time surrounded by the beauty of being outdoor, for example, and of course with facilities and this is exactly what we are aiming to conduct, what we are trying to do at Capohala, combining the nicest setting, natural nicest setting, with top-notch infrastructure so that people can focus, can work, but they just step out and they are in nature. Network meaningfully. Share meaningful, even short period of times with people. I'll tell you my 3 top spots for connecting. The first one, going for a run or a power walk. Instead of doing the meeting at the office, just go for a nice run. I think running is a great way even for business people to connect or to meet other people. Once you experience the endorphin release in a pack, so you have this magic cocktail of oxytocin and endorphin getting together, the chance for you to network are much higher. Second, sauna. So say for example, you want to network and you are at a club. Go for a sauna. Go for with whoever you're networking with a sauna. The suffering, the pain together, and again, the endorphin liberation, it's really cool. Third, select the people that you want to network with. Network should be done mindfully. And remember, if you are feeling that the person you are meeting, it's not worth your time, don't force yourself to second think. One deeper connection, one real, meaningful connection, it's much deeper than 100 shallow connections. One person, 2 person, 3 people can make the difference in your life if that connection is truly rooted, it's truly meaningful, it's truly nurtured. If you have 100 very shallow ones, they won't move the needle in your life. Working remotely with periods here and periods in the big city at the office, it's not just possible, but it's at the benefit of your performance, psychological performance, but also physical performance. It's all connected. I do very much invite any entrepreneur or business people that can have a chance to be exposed to nature, to be exposed to the yoga, to the fitness, to the good nutrition, to come and reboot. Because what we're trying to create here is the house of the entrepreneurs, is a place to give repair, to give shelter, and to rejuvenate body and mind for entrepreneurs so they can go back to work and they can shine. They can shine for their companies, for their team, and contribute to the best society they could. So nature will really do the magic. Here you can find your superpower. And I'm very proud that I experimented on myself. We built basically this resort to accommodate entrepreneurs, founders, teams, startups, innovators, forward thinkers, so that through nutrition, through movement, and through living in nature, living socially, we get the best of our cognitive performance. And I invite you and your team here and spend some time with me and you will see what happens. The real success is not the financial success, but the ability of create success stories even after failure.